I really appreciate you taking the time to learn more about the engine. If I was an advisor, what are the 3-4 things that I might do every day? And then I'll go through and talk about some of the other features that you might use once a week, once a month, once a year. The engine is not a super secret database. It's not a list building tool. I'm not scraping any data. I don't have a server where all this resides. What I'm doing is I've built a system that sits on top of various search engines. For example, if I said, go find me a VP of finance at 3M, you all know how to go into Google and search for that. My system, using AI basically, will search for all synonyms of that. So I might run 600 simultaneous LinkedIn searches in 1 second. Now, could you do those same LinkedIn searches? Sure you could. It would just take you 3.5 hours. Here you can do in 1 second. So that's what the engine is. It's not a super secret database. It just makes getting access to the free and open web easier and way faster, and tailored toward the needs of an advisor. So the first area is money in motion activities, or a sales trigger. What's going on in another person's world where they might need to take your call today? So for example, if I know a company is receiving funding, well, they're probably going to be hiring a bunch of new employees. In Google, where we talk about adding lots of words, in the engine, we want to actually add fewer words, because know that every time you type something in or click a button, I'm augmenting what you're doing with potentially a 600 or 700 word query. So don't put a lot of information, start broad and then see what happens. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to just choose a city name, and I'll choose Atlanta. So find me companies in Atlanta who've received a lot of funding. We don't want to find the VC firms, we want to, who are the VC firms funding? We're going to take this company right here. Insurtech, I'm going to copy that. They received $193 million. My hunch is they're going to be spending that on finding, hiring, retaining, attracting really good talent. I've copied the company name, and now I'm going to go up and do people search, and there are a few ways we can do that. There's power search, power function, search by title. I paste in the company name, and so I can go here and I can find out, well, who's in charge, who are their C-level executives, who are their finance and ops executives, who are their HR executives, who are their presidents, partners, VPs, and so on. What's nice here is I'm also searching for the synonyms of those words, because again, you're all smart enough. If I said, hey, go find me the vice presidents, you know how to go into LinkedIn, type in vice president. The problem is you'd completely miss Jonathan, because he doesn't have the phrase vice president as part of his job title. You'd completely miss Rajiv, because Rajiv is an SVP. They're very important to you. You wouldn't find them because you didn't know to go in and type in SVP. So what I recommend is on a Friday afternoon, 4 o'clock, you're kind of brain dead already. I know you have to have a lot of leads in the top of your funnel. We call those suspects or prospects. No, those suspects or prospects maybe came from inbound marketing, maybe came through referrals, maybe came through some of the other ways that you've always historically generated leads. And those are great. Keep doing them. What I'm suggesting here is you spend an hour on a Friday. You type in your city name. You try to find one of those activities in the news. Funding activity, executive hires, relocation or moving, mergers and acquisitions. A reason why somebody might want to speak with you. Some of the other money in motion activities that are in here are recent hires and promotions. I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm working with an advisor at General Mills. Now this advisor's name's Phil. Phil knows the General Mills stock option plan and pension plan better than the HR people at General Mills. So Phil said, I need to expand my business within this company. How do I do that? There's 30,000 employees. We can't call on all of them. I said, why would someone want to work with you? And he said, well, anytime somebody at General Mills gets hired or promoted, I'd like to take them out for coffee. I can share them some ideas, thoughts, and that's how I get clients. I said, great. Let me see if I can build a tool that will find people who've been recently hired or promoted. And that's the recent hires and promotions feature, which is under Money in Motion. I can do that by typing a company name, General Mills. I can add other terms. So if he only wanted to look for chiefs, chief executive, chief technology, I could do that. I could add a location. We'll stay pretty broad. And so here are people who've been hired or promoted at General Mills in the past 1 to 4 months. So for example, we'll take Jessica. Jessica's a director. Now she's been at the company for nearly 16 years, but she got promoted to the director level 3 months ago. Let's say that you have a great deal of success working with a new CEO. I'm going to type in chief. Find me any person with the job title chief who's been promoted or hired in Dallas in the past 1 to 4 months. John here, Dallas Fort Worth, CEO, and John was hired 3 months ago. So he would be a really great one to reach out to. Insider stock sales and purchases, put in ticker symbol. Hey, we'd all like these folks as clients. Thinking of retirement. I know what you want. Sam, give me a list of people who are thinking of retirement. Well, I can't read people's minds. But I can tell you that if they're a CEO in Los Angeles who attended school in '75, they might be interested in taking your call. Obituary announcements really designed for those who are doing estate planning. It's a meta search engine for obituaries, kind of self-explanatory on what it does. So those are the money in motion activities. Company research. Most databases force you to use a NAICS code or a SIC code, and you can do that. You can type in a SIC code here and pull those up, or a NAICS code. But if I want to find Internet of Things companies, well, there's no SIC code or NAICS codes for Internet of Things. That will be a technology company. And so I want to find Internet of Things companies in Minneapolis. And I can search by number of employees, annual revenue. Let's find an Internet of Things company doing between 5 and 25 million. So I can go in, learn about the company. They're doing 6 million. Great Bay Software. We'll go up, we'll do search by title. And here are the people we probably need to speak with. So pretty easy. Determine contact info. Get their email naming search. They use first initial, last name at greatbaysoftware.com. Let's walk through another. Find me a company in Miami in the healthcare industry with annual revenue of 225 million to 250 million. Tell me about these folks. Atlantic Biologicals. I can click here. I can learn about them. So 107 employees, 117 million. Great. They're probably growing. Who are the decision makers? C-suite executives, finance executives. Now I'm going to connect with Irving on LinkedIn, but if we need to find his contact information, we can do that. It looks like they use first name dot last name. I'm going to go grab Irving's name and we'll verify that. First name dot last name. Grab the web address. We'll verify that to see if that's accurate. Looks like it is. Now we've got the company. We're going to go, we found Irving, that's who we want to speak with. Do they even have a qualified plan? So under company research, we'll click here. And this will take us right to the correct spot on the government website where I can download their 5500 plan. Paste in the company name. So here's their 2020 5500 plan. We can open up the entire tax document. We can even see that Karen Moody is the plan administrator. Now, I got a meeting with Karen. She's going to meet with me. I've got to prep for that meeting. I'm going to go into company meeting prep. This is designed to be used 3 to 5 minutes prior to a meeting. So who are these guys? So we'll go to their website. All right, they're a pharmaceutical distributor. Where are they located again? We'll pull up a map. There they are. Company overview. This time let's look at their D&B report. 111 million. So you're getting different numbers between ZoomInfo and D&B. That's fine. We know approximately how big they are. Key executives. So there's a lot of things in here that are a little bit redundant to what I showed you. But again, this is designed to be used 3 to 5 minutes before a meeting. Your mobile device in your car, by the way, if you haven't done it yet, this is what it looks like in mobile. And your menu is right here. Recent news. What's going on in their world? What do they care about? The first words out of our mouth should be about them. And then employee reviews. Are there any employee reviews where they might even talk about what do they think of pay and benefits at the company? Back to company search. This one I love because the Intel Engine is probably the only one out there that does this. Why do I love this? People like to do business with people who they like. People like to do business with people who they trust. Guess what? People like to do business with people like them. I can go in, type in the city of Denver, classified business search, and in less than 2 seconds, I can find every veteran-owned business in Denver. So if I was a veteran advisor and I wanted to go in and capture a qualified plan, I'm going to go find veteran-owned businesses. If I'm a female advisor, I'm going to go find female-owned businesses. A minority advisor, a minority-owned businesses. I'll grab a company name, Insight Energy Consulting. Search by title. And here are the 3 people in that company. Company site search. I'll use 3M as an example. I'm going to type in 3M.com and then find me the phrase employee benefits. You're not allowed to look at the entire internet. Just look at 3M.com's website for the phrase employee benefits. 32 results appear on web pages, and as you can see, every single one is on 3M.com. Now what's neat is I can go back and I can say, well, only find me PDF files or Word documents at 3M.com with the phrase employee benefits. When you look at somebody's website, you're looking at their marketing brochure. They're not going to put things out there that they don't want you to see. So I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to find this on 3M.com's homepage. But we can find it by mining their website. This is a feature you're probably not going to use too often, the existing list finder. Let's say you really want to target local businesses. Well, who joins the chamber? It's not going to be the assistant intern. Houston chamber lists, and we can get the names of the key decision makers in Houston. We can get their membership directory. Let's go find a company, NG Bank. I'm going to grab that company name. I want to learn about that company. We'll go to company details. How big are they? Pretty big, 1,600 employees, 818 million in revenue. Let's go search for people at the company. We'll search by function. HR is a great example of the power of the Intel Engine because all of you are smart enough to know how to go into LinkedIn, type in human resources, but you'd miss Charlene because she doesn't go by human resources. You would get Erin. You would miss Gina. She's in charge of talent development. That's why I use the engine versus searching directly because it's running all those synonyms automatically. One I haven't shown you that it's really powerful is Power Search. I'm going to use my daughter as an example. My daughter graduates University of Missouri, May of 2020, heart of COVID. She wants to be in fashion marketing in New York. Good luck with that, right? So she did what her advisor said, create a LinkedIn account and go connect with other advertising people in the fashion world in New York. Well, she sent out 100 requests and got the grand total of 0 responses. Remember, people like to do business with people who they like. So I said, Maddie, let's go use the Intel Engine to find people who would be interested in talking with you. Type in marketing or advertising. Location, New York. Fashion industry. Now my daughter was a Zeta Tau Alpha sorority member. Find me all the people in marketing or advertising in the fashion industry in New York. And now when she reaches out, she's not some college kid. Now she's a sorority sister. Maddie sent out 4 requests, got 4 affirmative responses, had 4 informational interviews, and got a dream job. So how does this work for you? Again, people like to do business with people who they like. Find me any CEO or chief. I went to the University of Minnesota. I want to work with CEOs or chiefs in San Diego or Santa Clara. And I want to work with companies in the healthcare industry, but I know if I call these people, no one's going to answer. But if I call because I'm a fellow alumnus, well, they might actually take my call. So there are 10 chief level executives in the healthcare industry in either San Diego or Santa Clara. This is William, Chief Financial Officer, San Diego. He went to Chapman Ah, he got his undergrad at the University of Minnesota. I've actually taught at the Carlson School, so now I have another reason to reach out and talk to William. What are some other things? CEOs or chiefs in San Diego or Santa Clara who are members of Rotary, because you're a member of Rotary. Now when you reach out, you're a fellow Rotarian. Maybe you're really good at golf. Now, is this every CEO or chief in San Diego or Santa Clara that's good at golf? No. Around 7,000 of them. That'll keep you busy for a while. So that's how you can use the power search, is to find those folks that might have something in common with you. News search, I'll just use me as an example. Google News is awesome, but it misses a lot. So I know I've been interviewed more than 1, 2, 3, 4 times. That's why I created Extended News. That's more like it. The 1,200 times I've been interviewed, or press releases I've been featured in, blog posts, social media posts, videos, podcasts. If I were to go into my local public library and say, hey, I'm interested in information on qualified plans. Well, they're not going to give me 80 billion results, right? That's Google. And frankly, if I go into Google, I'm going to find 8 million results of people that want to sell me qualified plans. Instead, when you go to your public library and say, I'm interested in qualified plans, they're going to say, here are the 3, 4, 5 financial services publications that you care about. Read these. Well, I've created a search engine that only searches the top 60 or so key publications in the financial services world. So I can type in qualified plans, and it's only going to search the publications that we care about. Investment News, Think Advisor, Wealth Management Magazine, Bloomberg, Business Journal. Let's say you're working with a person and they've got questions on annuities. Now, obviously, you've got to follow any compliance rules, but you can go in and find an article from a relevant, credible, objective publication on annuities, and you can send them that article instead of a marketing brochure. This next feature, Hellman Wealth Finder, you enter a location, Wayzata, Minnesota. I want to find wealthy people in the community. This was actually built for a friend of mine, and he said, Sam, you won't believe the number of young advisors I work with who don't believe there's wealthy people in their community. Could you build me something that showed otherwise? Sure. So I can go in, search for homes. We'll just grab an address here. I'll go back in. Who owns that home? It's Kenneth Elhert, age 53, born in 69, email address, and his phone number. Now, let's say that this individual is already a client of yours, and you want to ask for introductions rather than referrals. Well, I'm pretty sure that if this is my client, they've got a $5 million home, their neighbor is not a $200,000 home. Find me their neighbors, and now when I meet with my current client, I can say, hey, I see that you are neighbors with John Hartwell. How well do you know John? Do you think he'd be a good fit for me? Would you do me the favor of an introduction? Personal details, if you're looking for Joe Smith, it won't work very well. It works on Sam Richter. So what you want to do when you're searching LinkedIn, don't put a city name. You're going to need to put in a company name or a job title. So here's me, the speaker. Now, if you want to search Facebook or Instagram, this is where I'd probably put in a city. So where do I live? So here's me. Sometimes this is incredibly accurate, sometimes it's not. Nonprofit contributions. Again, take these with a grain of salt, but these are all me. U.S. political contributions, that's my friend who ran for governor of Arizona. So that's how you'd use personal details. Thanks, everybody. Again, feel free to reach out to me. Happy to help you at any time. Thank you.